So we have, in the day we played around, some of you created solid models, some of you just got sketches, and some of you made this weird surface model. What we need to make in Inventor are solid models, all right, because a surface model only gives the viewer an idea of what the surface looks like. It does not give any information regarding mass properties. It does not have a volume. It does not, the easiest way to remember is it does not have an inside or an outside. Surfaces, however, solid models, however, have an inside and an outside. They are an enclosed shape. And you can get area, you can get volume, and because we have volume, we can apply a material to it, such as aluminum or steel, and find out how much that weighs, and that's very handy to us as engineers. So, solid modeling, the best way to remember this, all right, you're going to do either two things, and it's called additive or subtractive processes. You're either going to add material or you're going to take away material. We're going to make more of something, we're going to take something away. All right, so anything you do in Inventor is probably going to take either something away or add something to it. So additive and subtracting, add, subtract. All right, now I'm old, I may say do a Boolean operation on it. That comes from an 18th century English mathematician by the name of Charles Boole, who created the math for this. Just know that I'm talking about adding and subtracting if I say Boolean because I'm an old man. Additive methods, all right? So the way to think about this is we are taking two pieces of wood and we're screwing them together or gluing them together, all right? So you're going to start with something simple, and as you add things to it, it's going to get more complex. So here's an example here, all right? Method one I enjoy the most because it's the most straightforward. We're going to draw a shape, and then we're going to add another shape to it. In method two, we could draw a different shape, add another shape to it, and get the same part. Same thing with method three. It's the most inefficient, but if you want to draw a cube and then add another cube to it, and then add another cube to it, and add a cube, and add a cube, and add a cube, that is also possible. You could also do that. So we're going to take a moment and we're going to go in Inventor, and then we are going to make this model. So we need to know it's 1.5 high, it's 1.5 long, and then it has a 0.75 cutout, and then we're going to extrude it. So let's go over here to Inventor. Here's the part that we're eventually going to make. All right, a little bit about moving around in Inventor. All right, so to move around, if you have a part, if you hold down the Shift key and hold the middle mouse button, it will allow you to rotate around. All right, so that's Shift, middle mouse button. If you hold down just the middle mouse button, you can move things up and down and side to side. In Inventor, there's always 3 or 4 different ways to do things. Oh, and to zoom in and out, you can roll the mouse wheel in and out, and that allows it to zoom in and out. You can also, in Inventor, there's always 2 or 3 things that you can, 3 different ways you could do it. All right, to do the same thing, you can grab this, hold down the left mouse button, and then as you rotate around, you'll rotate around the part. You can also click on the faces, and you will automatically turn to the face. If you click on the triangle, it turns to the triangle. You can also click on the corners, and the corners activate. And if you get suddenly lost and you're like, oh, where's my part? Where's my part? You can click this little home button, and it will take the part and center it. All right. Again, you can also use this navigation toolbar over here. We can use the hand tool that moves it side to side, up and down. We can use this tool, which will center it. It will also zoom. I have it currently set on zoom all, which is helpful for when you lose it. You can click zoom all, and it brings it all back. And then you also have the, forget what it's called, orbit. All right. And then you can orbit around. Okay, and those you use all the left mouse button. So anytime you want to do something in Inventor, there's always several different ways of doing that. All right, so we are going to close this. We're going to say no, don't save the changes, and we are going to open up a new part. All right, so we'll open up the new part, and we have a blank screen. We'll go Start 2D Sketch, and then we have our front view, our right side view, and our top planes. So we're going to pick a plane. I'm going to draw it on the front view, and then we get our Cartesian plane, or our Cartesian coordinates, our grid with our origin. Now it's always best to start at the origin, I think. So we're going to go line, and we're going to draw up and over. All right, and I'm just clicking, and then I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to intentionally not make that horizontal, and then I'm going to go down, and then I click, and when it turns green, I know I'm back where I started, and then I can click, and then I have my basic shape, and then I can hit escape and get outside of the line. So now I need to start putting some dimensions, and for that we use the dimension. Anytime you hover over something, if you hover over it, it will give you more information. And we can see here that the general dimension can be called with the D command. So I'm going to go off of there. I'll hit escape to clear everything. Anytime you want to clear everything, all you have to do is hit this escape. All right, so I'm going to hit D for dimension. And then I'm going to click, drag over to the side to get it off my way. I notice a lot of people putting it over here. It just gets in your way. Pull it over to the side. That's out of your way. Click again, and then type 0.75. Enter. And then we can go here, and this is going to be 1.5. Enter. All right. Now some of you, and I'm going to hit the zoom all so I can see that. Some of you may be getting sketches that look all weird, like it may look like this. All you need to do, hit escape, make sure everything's cleared out, and then just drag it roughly to the right orientation, and then it will fix itself. In this area you have constrain, and it basically adds geometric constraints. We've got this one, it's at a funny angle, we want it to be horizontal. So if I go up here, I click horizontal constraint, I click it, click my line, boom, it's horizontal. All right, so I can go in, there's another constraint that's pretty handy. I can say equal, all right, because we want this, all right, to be 0.75. All right, and you'll notice, ooh, I did that wrong. This should be 1.5. Let's fix that. Double click on it, type 1.5. There we go. All right, so this is 0.75. This should also be 0.75. So all I have to do is I can go in and I can put a dimension there, but and say 0.75, and then that would be 0.75. Or I can use this equal and say equal. And it's this line and this line are the same length, and now they're equal. And so I can finish my sketch. Look at the whole thing. I can hit extrude. It's going to extrude out. I want this to be 0.75. And I've got my first part. All right, I have my 3D solid model. You'll see here solid model. Here's solid number 1. All right, I'm going to click on the sketch. I'm going to hit Start 2D Sketch. Here is a shortcut. You can click here and click this button, Create Sketch. I have a rectangle, so I'm going to put a rectangle here. Lay this in. All right. I'm going to use my equals and set this is equal to this. So I get a nice square. I'm going to hit D for dimension. Go up here, 0.75. Enter. Finish the sketch. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to extrude 0.75. It's already in there. Hit. And then it is done. I can home key and I have this wonderful model. All right. So let's go back to, so this is what we did. All right. And there's the final part. So we have subtractive methods. So that was all with adding. And then we are going to subtract. All right. And this is kind of like cutting away. You're milling, you're drilling, you're turning it, you're whittling it off. All right. Any other manufacturing processes. But basically it looks like this. You just start with a large block. You'll subtract some piece of it away. And it leaves a shape that looks like this. You take that, you subtract your cube. When you take the cube out, it leaves you the final part. So in this case, we're going to start with something 2.25 wide by 1.5 high, 2.5 wide, 1.5 high. All right, and then we will make the part. All right, and you can look in the slides or you can watch this video to see how this goes. So let's go back to our model. All right, and I'm going to go through this very quickly. You can stop and slow the video down. So I'm going to say new, and we're going to say part. So I have a nice blank. I'm going to say, oops, start 2D sketch, pick the front plane, pick a rectangle. All right, open up the rectangle. Oh, let me show you something while I'm doing here. So in the rectangle, click, lay it out, and you'll notice that this has a blue 0.553 highlighted. All you need to do is type 2.25, which is the width that we need to do. Hit tab, and then set the height 1.5, enter, and that will go ahead and lay in the height and width that you need. So finish the sketch. All right, extrude this 1.5, zoom all. Now we're going to go in, make a sketch here. All right, from here we are going to go ahead and add in what we need to cut away. And you will notice that I am, I'm not making a square, I'm making the part that is cut off by the square. So I'm going to lay this in really quickly. All right, from here I can go ahead, I can extrude, and you will notice in the extrude, all right, let's open this up. All right, so if you click down right here, you'll see cut. Click that, and we're going to cut it away, but right now we're cutting everything away, so let's type 0.75. All right, if you type 0.75, it cuts that part away. So now we'll click here, open up this, pick a rectangle. We'll go from this line backwards. We'll say equals. This is equal to this. And that allows me to just type 0.75 here. All right. And then we'll finish the sketch. We will extrude. All right. We're going to click here and do cut. We're going to cut it away 0.75. And we'll say sure. So that is subtractive modeling. All right, and we'll go back and we'll talk a little bit more. We'll do another video for how to combine both of them, but that is subtractive modeling.